Hello once again, programmers out there. Today we're going to get into JButtons and Action Listener. Well, first off, what is a JButton? Well, obviously it's a button, but it's just got a J on it, the first part of it. It's nothing different than, a button you would see like on the website or anything like that. I mean, it's not as pretty to look at, but it's still a button. So we're going to jump into Eclipse here again. Just to make up for time, I'm just going to use what we did last time when we made a JFrame. And I added some imports, so if you want to pause the video and import the ones you don't have. So first off, we're going to need a few more variables. We're going to need a JButton. I'm going to just put JB for the variable. And we're going to need an integer. And this is going to keep the count. And let's set it to 5. Alright. And we're going to need a label. Oh, and I just realized I didn't talk about labels. JLabels, all it is just text on the screen. But it's considered GUI because you can see it, I guess. I don't know. It's GUI. Just leave it at that. So you're going to want a label. So JLabel. And let's put first label. And we're going to have to start setting these up. So JB equals new JButton. And we're going to need a parameter in here. We're going to have to type in whatever we type in here, it's going to show up on the button. So I'm going to put minus count. And then let's set up our label. First label equals new JLabel. If I can type label. No, label. There we go. My fan's going off again. Alright, and we're going to need a parameter in here too. And of course, this label, we're going to have to give it a label. See what I did there? So let's call it the count is. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a plus sign and put the count. What I'm doing here is I'm using our integer and putting it into our string. So it's going to convert this to a string, and it's going to give us our count at that time. So just put that in right there. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a container. And all this is it contains all the GUI and, keeps it in a container. I know that's very interesting, but we're going to need it anyways. So we're going to do c.add, and we're going to put our things in here. So let's put JButton, and then c.add our label. But the bad thing about this is we can't do this because what's going to happen is they're going to be put right on top of each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a second parameter. We're going to separate it with a comma, and then we're going to type in border layout dot north. What this does is it tells the Java where to put the label. We didn't do it here because the default is center. So we're going to put this one above the button. And we're going to have to put one more thing in here. You're probably not going to understand this, but just put it in anyways. Put implements action listener. And I'll go over this. This is actually an interface. I'm going to show you what an interface is next tutorial. So go over here, put add unimplemented methods, and we're going to add some code to this. So we're going to put count minus minus. So we're going to minus the count when the button is pressed. And this method is called every time we press the button. But I actually realized something. We need to, right now the button's not going to do anything. We need to add action listener to the button. So we're going to put this, and this is a keyword. Basically this means this class right here has an action listener, so let's use this class to every time the button is clicked. So whenever the button's clicked, it's going to run this code. So, and we're going to have to update the J label. So first label dot set text, and we're going to put in the same thing because it's going to update it. So the count is plus count. Whoa. Alright, there we go. And let me check over this real quick. From my knowledge right here, I think it's going to work. But let's check it and find out. Alright, see, we got our button here. It's a pretty big button, but that's our button. And we got our label up here. The count is 5. So let's click our button. Ooh, the count is 4 now. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we could just keep going on, you know. Hey, let's see when it stops. Nah, I'm kidding. It's going to go on forever. Well, that's all I wanted to teach you today. I know there's a few things you guys don't understand in here, like probably this line right here. But all this does is it makes the container. You don't really need to jump into like, what does this mean? I don't know. But it just makes the container is all you need to know. And then I'll go over interfaces next tutorial. So I hope you understand and you know, like my tutorials, and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'll be free to answer it whenever I can. Alright, see you next time.